Good morning, my friends. It's very early. I'm waiting for neighbors to start coming out and taking their walks, but hopefully we won't get disturbed. I wanted to do a September tour, mainly the front yard this morning, and show you how pretty the caladiums. These are the Fanny Munsons here in the front, and she's really making a nice little show for herself, isn't she? Right around the elm tree that I now call the elm garden. And the elm tree is just beginning to show some golden tones. And this year I'm going to try and keep a record of how many pounds of leaves I collect. Unfortunately, we're going on vacation for a week in October, and I'm going to miss that poundage. But anyway, this is our front yard, and the caladiums were planted. I bought them July 26th, and they were in the ground probably, July. They were in the ground probably by about August 2nd, maybe the 3rd. But let me pull you closer. I'll walk across the street here, and let's start from this end. Let's start from the far end. Now these, as I said, are the Fanny Munsons, and there's probably close to 50 planted in here. It's a beautiful, beautiful leaf. Very pink with just a tiny bit of a green edge to it. And I still have more coming up. You can see those little black plastic sticks. I go around the neighborhood, and if I find them in the street, most of the time people are having their yards sprayed with some chemical, and they put that little stick there with the company's card saying that they have sprayed that month or that quarter, whichever. But over here I have some dragon hearts, and they're just beginning to bloom. And I think that's the prettiest thing, is when you see something that is a beautiful, beautiful leaf, and then it has such a simple bloom to it. It almost looks like a spathiphyllum, doesn't it? Peace lily. Dragonheart, that's the variety. I also had some that I put in here just about 7 or 8 days ago, and oops, I left one over here with a couple. This is a Florida pink. I can see this one got knocked over. Let me just pick it up and try to write that. Beautiful leaves. But I planted a few in this pot because my friend is going to be coming next month, and he's going to be staying at the house next door. That's his sister, and I wanted him to have something to look at whenever he comes out and see this side of my yard. They're not much they're not really interested in gardening, so I try to make up for it. Crepe myrtle bloomed, and I don't know if you can see, but you can see the little buds on the end. Those are the little seed pods, and the birds come and they take those, but they seem sterile because I don't really get any, I don't get a bunch of little sprouts from it. However, when the elm tree drops its seeds, I do get several little sprouts. This is held up really well. My stones with the little smaller stones behind and the bricks, and it really just kind of offsets everything. The liriope is still blooming very, very nicely. You don't see much of it because it's green, and it's not really striking, but those purple little blooms, butterflies and bees come around. Is that a mockingbird, I believe. Anyway, right behind the azaleas, They seem to bloom really mainly in the spring, but then every time we have a rain, you'll see a blossom or two. The dwarf, Wheeler dwarf mock orange is right behind it, and it has just put on a huge flush of new growth. And the arbicola, or arborvitaes, are still in their pots behind. And that's pretty much the makeup of my yard. I kind of we did a Rick did a pressure washing, and when he did, I had to take all the pots off, and I left them off. But unfortunately, he went through and he pressure washed with the attachment that looks like it's swirling things, but then he never went back over and rinsed it off. Bless his heart, which is my way of saying, what the heck? So I'm going to have to go through and try to maybe scrub it with a little bit of bleach water. My gardenia blooms in the spring. For some reason or other, it has always stayed this shade of green. It has never really gotten darker. I did plant some caladiums here in the front, and I planted them only about, maybe 10 or 11 days ago, and you can see they're just starting to come up, and I think these are the pink cloud. You know, they all start to look alike after a while. I'm starting to lose my sense of balance. And I try to write it down, and then I go, where did I put that? This side, they're just poking out. And I told Rick, he said, how can you see them? He's trying to get down and look. And I said, I actually take my hand and run my hand over it. And if I feel little pricklies, little points against my fingers, then I know that they're coming up. But here, I'll get real close so you can see them just starting to come up. And back there you've got a couple leaves. It's interesting how one bulb will have huge leaves, like this is a Florida white, and that's a volunteer from last year. I put the bird bath back out, and Gwendolyn, of course, she's out there. This is a volunteer of Chinese spinach. I need to just cut it and take it in and eat it. It would be delicious. And then, of course, our bougainvillea. Try to keep those at a reasonable height and a structure, and I have to get up underneath it and trim it, and then I get on the ladder and I trim the branches that are shooting straight up, and it tries to keep it under control. Now here I did Fanny Munson in the front, closest to us, and then there's actually a row of Dragonheart behind it, and I'll show you. You see it, but you don't really see it until you get up on it, and then you see the difference in the leaf structure, the size of it. The Dragonhearts are truly a heart. I mean, they really come out strong. And then the Fanny Munsons seem to come with a variety of mottling, is that the right word? Of some that look like just pink hearts through the vein, and then others that are completely full. And it can be on the same plant. So the genetic differences. I did plant 5 new ones in this pot up here because the ones that I had were just they were tired, and you can see that they were a big bulb. And if you put the bigger bulbs in there, the ones that are kind of like a cluster, and it looks like somebody went through with an icing bag and did dollop on the top of a cupcake or something. You'll see like 5 of them together. They don't look that pretty, and that's how they will come up, is they'll shoot up 5 or 6 of the little leaves coming out. That's it. I think that was it. Oh, I did. I brought a wreath back out. I need to add to it, but it's a beginning, and this is fall, and Here in Florida, we really don't do too much. You know, you go for, you guys up north, you know, you start seeing everything change, the leaves all change, and everything really lets you know that it's fall. Although I did want to show you. You see, I'm actually getting some of the leaves. These are from. This is what's coming up. These are the elm leaves. So, can you give a guess? I'm guessing 50 pounds. That would be my guess. And the bark that is coming off of this tree is just amazing. It's just all look at that. Amazing. I just keep throwing it down here because I know it'll break down eventually. What a beautiful morning. Just a beautiful morning. What a beautiful day to be alive. I hope you all have a great day and enjoy your September. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.